Hello everyone, Louise from PlanetMosh, and I'm here with Chad and Nate from the Las Vegas, who are currently touring the UK, and they're about to play the Snooty Fox in Wakefield tonight. So how are you enjoying the tour so far, guys?
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's been good.
So what's been the highlight so far?
Having people sing along to your songs when you're playing them live.
So,
we haven't been to the UK. This is our first time here. So when we come over here, we're not really too sure what to expect. And at every show, there's fan favorites, and they're singing along to them. So it's really nice.
So are you playing then a lot of your older material, or is it mainly promoting the new album this tour?
It's a little bit of both. Mix it up. Probably playing about 5 or 6 songs from the new record, and then a pretty good collection of all of our different records, like a couple different songs, from each of those records, and like to mix it up. The set's a little bit different each night throughout the tour.
We're playing a lot of the songs that we've done videos for that are the ones that are most familiar to everybody.
And so you've had a really good reaction so far with people singing along, so that's really
it's been
good.
Great.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell me a little bit about the new album?
Sweet Salvation. We recorded half of it in Chicago, and recorded the vocals in Los Angeles, California, with our friend and super producer Roy Z, who's worked with a lot of really, really great bands. He's done some Iron Maiden stuff, Bruce Dickinson. He's done Judas Priest stuff. He's worked with Rob Halford. He's worked with Sebastian Bach, and just a handful of great bands. And we met him years and years ago, and he just became a really good friend. And it was time for us to finally do a record with him, and this had to be the record with him.
Brilliant. So I have to admit, I haven't really heard much of the Las Vegas before, but you must be pretty big because you've been going 10 years, and I believe you've supported the likes of AC/DC, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, we've had the opportunity to play some pretty big shows over in United States, and play with some of the bands that we were influenced by at an early age, and it's been a fun ride. I think Sweet Salvation's our 6th full-length record we've released to the world, and so again, as Chad was saying earlier, we're excited to be in the UK for the first time.
And like some of those bands, are you kind of big fans of theirs then, if they've influenced you?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, of course.
And what's it like to be asked to play with like somebody that you've really liked from probably like a young age, like AC/DC? You probably liked them from school. What's it like?
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
It's a good feeling. I mean, we work really hard doing this stuff, so when we get opportunities like to open up for AC/DC, I mean, that's a one like a chance of a lifetime, really, So it's exciting.
I
It's
mean,
great.
do you kind of get starstruck when you meet like these big stars like Angus and Brian, or?
I mean, we've been doing this for so long. It's not anything to be starstruck about, but it's something to be appreciative to.
Yeah, I'd say it's more fortunate, kind of
Yeah.
soak it in, just kind of sit back and, be cordial. And a lot of them are actually pretty cool guys and stuff, so we just be ourselves and they're themselves, and, I guess we're still all people.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. Most guys in bands, they're just people, and just chat to them.
Yeah.
We're all
they're
human
nice
beings.
people.
Well, the
Yeah.
AC/DC guys are really short, which I've heard, but saw it in the flesh.
And is that the best gig you've played, or is there another?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say opening for AC/DC is probably the coolest thing that
cool.
I've done. Motley Crue arena tour for 7 weeks is right up there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you play big arenas, and tonight you're going to be playing like quite a small venue. Do you give the same performance, whatever the size of the venue and the crowd, do you think?
Yeah, I think there's the room, whether it's a small club or a big arena, if there's like energy there in the crowd and on stage, that's what we feed off of. And we try to put on the same show, whether we're playing to 100 or 1,000 people.
We do. I mean, the music that we play is ours, and it's completely real. So even when we're practicing, we have a tendency of getting into it because we're putting it out there. I think if we're playing in front of 10,000 people and we're playing in front of 100 people, we're still feeling energy, and someone's there to see you entertain them.
Yeah.
So you better do a good job.
That's just like the Snooty Fox. It's not a particularly big stage, so you played big arenas.
No, it's small. I just did soundcheck. It's tiny.
What's it like? Do you have to adapt your act at all to fit everybody on, or?
If anything, I think with bigger stages, you gotta. I guess it's Adam saying this as I'm the drummer, but you gotta kind of like run around more and work the stage, you know. And I think on smaller stages, you tend to stand in a little bit of a.
You have a little bit more freedom when you're playing in a big arena than you would a small club like this. But you know, there's people that are going to come out here that have been listening to our music for years, and it's mostly about them. It's not our ego, like we're not going to play in a small area, because we've done huge places, we've done huge festivals, we've done small little tiny bathroom sized venues too. But there's people there that want to see your music. That's what it's all about. It's for them.
That's cool. So, did you start as a 5-piece?
Yes.
And why did you add like another guitar player?
We had Brian about a year and a half ago now. He just a friend that we met in Chicago, and to be honest, one of our other guitar players was going through a couple like health issues. So Brian just started touring with us, and then we added him to the mix, and he's like a full member of the band, and it works out really well.
He became family.
So, does 3 guitars add a different dimension to the sound at all?
A little bit. If anything, I think it's kind of cool because, I mean, we don't use any backing tracks, and, you know, I think it's a pretty cool way to reproduce, you know, the songs that we do in the studio, you know, just with all the different, you know, guitars. And I mean, we're a guitar rock band, so nothing wrong with adding another guitar player.
So, I've read, like, who a few influences are, and, like, Black Sabbath, different influences. Who would you say your big influences are?
Oh, well, we love music. I think we're a huge extension and a brutal appreciation of the music that we grew up on, which was lots of arena rock and lots of punk rock. And I think that we fuse those styles, if you have to put a label on it, together. We the biggest bands that we've played for are pretty much our biggest influences, like Alice Cooper, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. I mean, Cheap Trick is one of our. They're not quite as big as those bands, but they're a huge influence on us, and we've had opportunities to meet them and become friends with a lot of these guys. And then your influences as well. So, how great of an opportunity is that? It means that a lot of our hard work is working. I guess.
Getting appreciated by guys that you like, and that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
we like the smaller club bands too, like a lot of the punk bands like that we grew up on, like the Ramones and Black Flag, and a lot of like Los Angeles punk rock and UK punk rock. They were playing in small clubs like this. And that's when we first started going to shows, was little clubs like this. So we appreciate all of it.
Yeah, I mean, I personally prefer like a small venue to a big arena because you get more of the feel of the band. So it's interesting, like the
you like it when the band is sweating on you.
Yes, I certainly do. Because I have to admit, I'm kind of coming to see you guys blind, so to speak. I've not really heard much about you, so what can I expect from the show tonight?
Well, we're a live, very raw band, and we don't rely on a whole lot of effects or backup tracks or anything, so we're basically just laying it out there, completely honest. It's very loud, and it's pretty hectic, but there's a whole lot of groove, and people like to headbang and dance.
Sounds good, so I shall look forward to that. Now, I've read some of your tour blog, and I just wondered, do either of you write your tour blog?
That's Brian on this tour.
Because I just wondered, is he a bit of a foodie, or is he just plain greedy? Because most of that blog was about food.
Really?
Yeah.
He's the skinniest one in the band.
Right, well, I'll have to say hello to him after. So you've been to Keswick so far, you've had a tour of a brewery. Is these your first visit to England? Is it what you expected?
We've all been to England separate times
Right.
on our own, and we've been here as a band a few times, just visiting, but we've never played shows. Everything here is great. I mean, I don't want to get crucified for saying this, but a lot of it is kind of like America to me. I mean, it's set up nice, and I understand everything. We go to a lot of countries where a lot of people don't really speak English.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to adapt and stuff, but everything's very, very easy here, and everyone's really, really nice and very appreciative of our music and us being here. And there's a lot of great stories that we're learning. I think the food is great. I just think the people are great. It's awesome.
To just absorb the culture of and the history of rock music and heavy metal that England had is pretty impressive, and to be traveling around and kind of seeing and feeling it hands-on feels pretty cool.
Of course,
inspiring.
You're in Yorkshire at the moment, and we've got like bands from Yorkshire, like Def Leppard are from Yorkshire, Saxon from Yorkshire, bands that you might not have heard, like Vardis. So, have you been to the National Coal Mining Museum while you're here? It's about 4 or 5 miles away from here.
No, we just rolled in town about, I don't know, an hour or two ago.
And have you tried Yorkshire Pudding?
Not yet.
No, right, you have to try some Yorkshire Pudding while you're here.
Wait, is it anything like blood pudding?
No, it's lovely. It's like a pancakey thing, but it's like crispier. So I think you should try it while you're
that
here.
That sounds pretty good.
And definitely tell Brian to try it if
I'm
he
sure
likes the
he
food.
will.
So you're going to Scotland tomorrow. Have you been to Scotland before?
Actually, I was there when I was a little kid. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. Everyone says that Edinburgh too is a really cool town, and it should be a fun show.
Edinburgh's really good. Glasgow's good as well. It's pretty. Both two nice towns if you've got a chance to go there. You're going to try the haggis?
I'm a vegetarian.
They do vegetarian haggis, so
you'll
then be alright.
Yeah.
Why not?
So you're ending your tour at the Asylum in Chelmsford, and as is the Asylum the best place to end a tour for the Las Vegas?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
We'll see.
We're going to find out, though.
I
like the name.
Yeah, so a bit of a madhouse. And when you finish, what are you going to do to celebrate?
I don't know. We head to the rest of the Europe for like 2 weeks. So I don't know. Said every night it's kind of a celebration, and we've been on tour with a support band called Heartbreak Remedy from the UK, and that's their last show of this leg of the tour. So probably party with those guys pretty late, and
we maintain the rest of Europe after the UK gigs. So
yeah, got lots of new places to see.
We're on the road for another almost 2.5 weeks, or 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, we go to Holland and Belgium, and then Denmark and
Budapest.
Play Hungary for the first time, which should be pretty cool.
Oh wow! Because I believe some of their rock fans are mental, so you should have a really good time.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. So before we finish, is there any final message you want to give to the fans out there?
Thank you for having us over. Thank you for having great taste and still believing in the rock and roll music that we do. I know there's so many different genres now, and maybe the rock and roll or whatever you want to call it now isn't as popular as it used to be, but a lot of the fans make us feel like it is. So thanks.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing, Thanks to England for keeping this history of rock alive, and, all the fans and, press like you to come out and support bands like us, and appreciate it, and just come out to the show and have a good time. Leave your problems at the door, and don't think about work, and so we'll
All right.
have a good time tonight.
So we can find you on Facebook. You've got a website, so what's your Facebook address? Do you know it?
Just like facebook.com, The Last Vegas, like thelastvegas.com. We're actually releasing a new video this week too for a song called You and Me that will be on our YouTube page and website. And it's kind of like we took a little bit of approach of humor in this video, so
we don't really take ourselves that seriously.
Yeah. So, and neither do we think bands should. I mean, I think, as I said earlier, we go to the show, or we want fans to come to our shows, and we go to shows to have fun and forget about our problems, not be pissed off,
right,
and angry and whining, and so
we just want to entertain.
Yeah, so
brilliant.
It's a little bit of what the video. It's our next one called You and Me that we'll be pushing throughout the rest of the tour in the summer. So, look forward to that too.
I shall put the video. I shall link it into the review so that people can see it. So
cool.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.